straight onto the papers now with Dipti, and she is starting something a bit different today, a football match between Saudi and Iranian teams in the Asian Champions League. It's been called off for political reasons, Dipti.
Read more about this in Arab News today, that a match scheduled for Monday between Saudi's Al Ittihad club based in Jeddah and an Iranian club, Stuart, had to be postponed. That match was actually being played in Iran, but there was the point of contention between the two teams was over the presence of a statue of Major General Qasem Soleimani at the entrance of the field. And you can actually see on Twitter, some have actually posted a picture of that bust there. The bust is really the big point of contention. It's the reason why the Saudi team refused to leave their dressing room to attend the match. This figure, Soleimani, commanded the foreign operations arm of Iran's Al-Quds forces. He was key, essentially, in directing Iran's policies and activities across the Middle East before he was assassinated in 2020 by the U.S. But for the Iranians, of course, he's a hero. He's got hero status. For the Saudis, though, he's seen as someone who's a key driver of Iranian policy across the Middle East. The Saudi Football Federation has said it supports the Saudi club's actions. The match is really a sore spot in what's been a very short time in which Saudi Arabia and Iran have enjoyed defrosting relations thanks to a China brokered deal earlier this year. Stuart.
Dipti's got another Saudi story for us. Monday marking 5 years since the gruesome death of the Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, of course.
It's been 5 years since the shocking death of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The prominent journalist and critic of the Saudi monarchy walked into the Saudi consulate in Istanbul on October the 2nd, 2018, to pick up a document he needed in order to marry his Turkish fiancée. He was ambushed by a Saudi death squad. He was killed and dismembered, his body carried out in suitcases by that death squad, who eventually boarded a Saudi chartered plane and left the country. Now, his death largely blamed on Mohammed bin Salman, the Saudi crown prince, who was seen as really orchestrating that gruesome death. And for a while, the Saudi crown prince himself was sort of an international pariah. But the general feeling in the press this Tuesday, as you can read in The Guardian, though, is that the Saudi crown prince did escape unscathed from the scandal. This piece here from The Guardian says that thanks to notably Donald Trump and Joe Biden, the Saudi crown prince has sort of enjoyed a rehabilitation of his image and of his country's image. We've seen him recently in visits with foreign leaders, a lucrative Saudi tourism campaign, and of course, billions of dollars poured into various sports deals, all in an attempt to whitewash the kingdom's, quote, abysmal record on human rights. That's according to The Guardian. The website Vox takes it a step further, explaining that the Saudi regime's apparent impunity for Jamal Khashoggi's killing has really also had a ripple effect. Most recently, India's rumored assassination of an activist in Canada, and Israel not facing sanctions over the death of a Palestinian-American journalist, Shireen Abu Akleh.
Freedom of the press is the topic of this next one. It's a major theme dominating the French papers today. A government-mandated state of affairs of the press and information begins today.
That's right. The objective of this initiative, launched by Emmanuel Macron, Stuart, is to better protect freedom of information. It's a pressing issue. That's what Libération says on its front page in a thinly veiled attempt at a play on words on its front page. Brutal takeovers, journalists being threatened for not revealing their sources, fake news seemingly unregulated. These are some of the challenges facing the bid to better protect freedom of the information and press. This initiative, spearheaded by Emmanuel Macron, comes at a particularly perilous time for the French media. Libération's, in their edition today, they remind us of two important turning points in recent times. The appointment of Geoffroy Lejeune, a far-right journalist, to head the prestigious Sunday paper Le Journal du Dimanche, and more recently, the shocking detention of an investigative journalist, Ariane Lavrieux, two incidents that have really brought to light the importance of protecting freedom of the press. The editor of L'Humanité, meanwhile, reminds us that guaranteeing the independence of the media is crucial. It's an emergency for democracy.
Finally, from Dipti, it's an incredible story, this. It's a young couple. They accidentally, not sure how you do this accidentally, but accidentally bought a dilapidated Scottish house.
Well, you might wonder, how can you accidentally buy one? But Cal Hunter did just that. The young Brit was tasked with attending an auction in Glasgow while his girlfriend, who's Canadian, was back home. Her name is Claire Seguin. Now, what happened was he bid successfully on what he thought was a pretty cheap apartment in the city centre of Glasgow. But in the absence of some photos, he realized, he found out, that he ended up buying one of 4 lots of a dilapidated rural Scottish house, Stuart. When he went to rectify his error, the auctioneers told him that he could actually have the second lot as well, so he could get half the house because that second lot didn't sell either. So as you do, Cal Hunter figured owning one half of a house he didn't want in the first place was better than owning 1/4 of that house. So that's what he did. The couple bought initially the first half of the house, and over time they bought the other 2 lots, so they owned the whole house. They spent years renovating it, sleeping in a camper van while they were renovating it. It's just gotten residential approval, and this is the view.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
I'd say it's pretty good, right?
Yeah. Worked out all right in the end.
I think, yeah, exactly.
Very nice. Dipti, thanks very much to Tika Laurent.